Today's video is about one of the most debated criminal cases in modern history, the Menendez brothers. Lyle and Erik Menendez were convicted of murdering their parents, José and Kitty Menendez, in 1989. For decades, the case was widely viewed as a premeditated crime committed for financial gain, but recent developments, including new allegations, shifting legal perspectives on abuse, and the impact of a Netflix documentary, have led many to reconsider whether the brothers were victims acting in self-defense. In this video, we'll cover the full timeline of the case, the prosecution and defense arguments, and the latest updates, including renewed public support, new testimony, and the possibility of a resentencing. The Menendez murders and the initial investigation. On the night of August 20th, 1989, 21-year-old Lyle and 18-year-old Erik Menendez shot and killed their parents, José and Kitty Menendez, in their Beverly Hills mansion. Their father, a successful Hollywood executive, was shot multiple times, including a fatal to the back of the head. Their mother was shot repeatedly, suffering injuries to her face and torso. After committing the murders, instead of fleeing the scene or showing immediate signs of distress, the brothers took an unexpected course of action. They went to the movies and then attended a basketball game to establish an alibi. According to reports, they watched Batman and later went to a food festival in Santa Monica. This behavior later played a significant role in the prosecution's argument that the killings were premeditated. Despite the brutal nature of the crime, the Menendez brothers initially avoided suspicion. When police arrived at the scene, they found Lyle crying hysterically on the front lawn and Erik appearing equally distraught. The brothers told investigators that they had gone out for the evening and returned home to find their parents murdered. Authorities had little reason to suspect them at first, as no evidence linked them directly to the crime. However, their extravagant spending in the months that followed raised suspicions. The million-dollar spending spree. In the weeks after the murders, Lyle and Erik began spending large amounts of money from their parents' estate. Lyle purchased a Rolex watch, a Porsche, and a Buffalo Wing restaurant in New Jersey. Erik hired a personal tennis coach and took expensive trips overseas. The brothers moved into luxury penthouses and enjoyed a lifestyle that was far from grieving sons. Within 6 months, they had reportedly spent over $700,000. This reckless spending drew the attention of detectives who began to question the brothers' version of events. But what ultimately led to their arrest wasn't their spending. It was Erik's confession. The confession that changed everything. The Menendez case took a turn when Erik, overcome with guilt, confided in his psychologist, Dr. Jerome Oziel. During one of their sessions, Erik admitted to killing his parents. Oziel initially kept the confession private, but later shared it with his girlfriend, who then reported it to the police. Once investigators had the confession, they obtained a warrant to record additional therapy sessions. In these recordings, both Erik and Lyle revealed details about the murders that only the killers would know. On March 8, 1990, Lyle was arrested while at home in Beverly Hills. Erik, who was in Israel for a tennis competition, flew back to Los Angeles and turned himself in. The trial and the claims of abuse. The Menendez brothers' trial became one of the most publicized cases of the 1990s. While the prosecution argued that the brothers killed their parents to inherit their fortune, the defense introduced a shocking claim. Lyle and Erik had allegedly suffered years of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse at the hands of their father. The defense argued that José Menendez was a controlling and abusive father, and their mother, Kitty, was an alcoholic who ignored the abuse. They claimed that after years of suffering, the brothers believed their father was about to kill them to prevent them from revealing the abuse, leading them to act in what they saw as self-defense. The courtroom was divided. Some jurors sympathized with the brothers, believing their testimony about abuse. Others saw them as manipulative killers who fabricated a story to escape justice. The first trial ended in a hung jury, with separate juries for each brother unable to reach a unanimous verdict. However, in the retrial, the judge limited testimony about abuse, focusing the case solely on the murders. In 1996, both Lyle and Erik were convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Netflix's documentary and the public's changing perspective. Fast forward to 2024, and the Menendez case is once again in the spotlight. Netflix released Monsters, the Lyle and Erik Menendez story, a dramatized series revisiting the case, which has reignited debate about whether the brothers were victims of extreme abuse or ruthless killers. Younger audiences, many of whom were not alive during the original trials, are now revisiting the case through social media. TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube have been flooded with discussions, with hashtags like #FreeTheMenendezBrothers trending. Many believe that the brothers' claims of abuse should have been taken more seriously. Meanwhile, legal analysts remain divided. Some argue that the brothers had a fair trial and that their conviction was justified. Others believe the abuse claims should have been given more weight in court. New allegations against José Menendez. In 2024, a new allegation added another layer of complexity to the case. Roy Rosello, a former member of the boy band Menudo, publicly accused José Menendez of abusing him when he was a teenager. This claim suggests that José may have had a pattern of predatory behavior, strengthening the argument that Lyle and Erik may have been telling the truth. Following this revelation, the Menendez brothers' defense team filed for a new hearing, arguing that Rosello's testimony serves as further proof that their father was an abuser. In addition, controversy arose within the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office. Reports surfaced that two prosecutors, Nancy Thaberge and Brock Lunsford, were demoted after recommending a resentencing hearing for the Menendez brothers. This raised concerns about whether political influence was preventing a fair reassessment of the case. Could there be a new trial? With new evidence and growing public support, could Lyle and Erik Menendez be granted a new trial? While courts rarely overturn life sentences, some legal experts believe a resentencing is possible. If the justice system acknowledges that critical evidence, such as the abuse allegations, was not given proper consideration in the 1996 trial, the brothers may be eligible for reduced sentences or parole. However, the prosecution argues that the brothers planned the murders in advance and that their behavior after the crime, such as attending a basketball game and going on a spending spree, contradicts their claims of acting out of fear. For now, the legal battle continues, but public interest in the case has never been higher. Final thoughts: was justice served? The Menendez case has evolved from a straightforward murder trial into a larger discussion about abuse, trauma, and the justice system's handling of such claims. Were Lyle and Erik Menendez two privileged young men who killed their parents for financial gain? Or were they victims of years of abuse who believed they had no other choice? Should the Menendez brothers receive a new trial, or was justice already served? Let us know your thoughts and what other case you want us to present in the comments. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay updated on crime cases like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay aware, stay informed, and stay safe.